cars moving around and getting out.
Okay.
I'm going to look inside the main electric panel and check a bunch of circuits all around the house.
Okay.
Structurally, kind of seeing what it's made of, how it's put together, trying to make sure things aren't moving that should be staying still.
Okay.
Part of that's going up in the attic and looking at the truss system up there. Also looking at the underside of the roof. See how much insulation you've got, how many squirrels are living in there. Inside, I'm going to run all the installed appliances through a cycle to check them.
Okay.
We'll be looking at things like plumbing fixtures, doors, windows, cabinets, chimneys, that sort of stuff. Okay. And then outside, we'll be looking at grading and drainage, the siding, windows, roof, all that sort of thing.
Okay.
Do not do pools.
And we've got that scheduled for about a month from now.
Very good.
Separately. Great.
And so when I'm finished, I'll have a report for you.
Okay.
And it's descriptive of what's here, as well as it'll list any areas of concern that I have.
Okay.
And speaking of which, did you have any particular concerns or questions about the house?
Not off the top of my head. I know that during the walkthrough, the agent that was showing it to me, she noticed that there were a couple of shingles that looked like they might be popped on the backside of the roof.
I saw
So that
too.
okay. So that's
I'm guessing, and I'm going to tell some more after I look at the underside of it and such. But the builder probably put on a good roof, a good quality roof, and a good roof like that will last between 25 and 30 years.
okay.
You're between 25 and 30.
Yeah, we're right there. We're right there.
So that's what I'm guessing just from a quick look.
Okay.
So let me punch a couple of buttons on my computer, and then we'll head downstairs and
Okay.
take a look at that furnace.
Okay. Wonderful.
So how long will it take you to find this one?
3 weeks of intense searching. I
weeks?
saw about 12 homes in the 3 weeks, and
Okay.
yeah, I had a specific requirement for single floor living for my parents.
Right.
So they can't do steps anymore, and I wanted to, and that was basically disqualifying for most of the other properties that we
Right.
went to.
Yeah.
And then this one, the current owners had actually converted for the same purpose. Their
is that
their
right?
parents had lived here. They actually had Alzheimer's, and so they had converted the whole place, put the full bath right off the dining room, and converted that to a bedroom. And then they said they liked being out here because if they wandered off, all the neighbors knew them and could bring them back.
Oh, right.
So
yeah.
they felt safe with them out here, kind of,
Yeah, yeah,
at the end of a gravel road.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, so it seemed ideal.
Yeah. Definitely not. I mean, this is a nice private lot.
A big lot.
This room is
All right, we're going to head downstairs, and
Okay.
you are more than welcome to come along with us.
Okay, I'll just tag along.
If you got questions or anything, just let me know. We'll answer anything we can.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I thought that was. I got to get the story on that.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was thinking there's got to be a story behind
Has it got dial tone?
No.
Okay, well, put that on the list.
Okay, this is your first heating and air system. Now this one's gas. So it would be by that bottled gas that you've got outside, propane.
Okay.
And come on. Yeah, 2008 is when it was manufactured.
Okay.
So it's about 10 years old.
All right.
Units like this will generally last 15 to 20.
Okay.
Some of them don't make 15, but you got a filter. Got it sliding right in here.
Okay.
that one's nice and clean. And typically you want to change that about once a month.
Okay.
It's reasonably clean in there. I mean, for 10 years old, you're going to have some dirt and dust, but it's reasonably clean.
Okay.
I do recommend that you get them serviced, and typically that would be twice a year. In the spring, you get it serviced for the air conditioning, and in the fall for the heat.
Okay.
Like I say, the changing the filter once a month is kind of a general rule of thumb. If it's, just a few of you living here, and, it may last 3 or 4 months, but, if it was, you and 6 kids and 5 dogs, it'd be every couple of weeks.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, we've got a door over that. One thing about this one I want to point out is you've got a condensate pump. So the condensation that's coming out of here is going into this little box.
Okay.
And then that pumps the condensation, hopefully, outside. We're going to trace that down and try and see where it goes.
Okay.
It is a high efficiency unit, so it should be pretty easy on the gas bill. And the way they make it more energy efficient is they add some additional heat exchangers in here. And that's able to extract more heat out of the exhaust and put it into your house. So of course that's a good thing. But part of it doing that, it's going to make condensation in the winter, just like your air conditioner does in the summer.
All right.
So you're going to have water going in that little box and it coming on, turning on and off all year long.
Okay. All right.
Also, this takes oxygen to burn properly. And instead of taking oxygen out of the house that you've already paid to heat, it's pulling that air in from outside, burning it, and then sending it back out.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Okay.
This flexible stainless steel line that's hooking the gas up is not supposed to pass through the cabinet. It should be solid solid steel like this. It should not be where it passes through the cabinet. Once it gets outside of the cabinet, you can use that flexible connector.
Okay.
But not inside inside or passing through the cabinet wall.
So right now that wouldn't be to code.
Correct.
Okay.
Let's see. Kevin, do you think you could go upstairs and turn the heat on?
Sure.
You do have some dampers in your ductwork.
Okay.
And here's the handle that controls it. So there's a big flapper in there, and you can adjust where the air
for the season.
in the house.
Gotcha.
Let's see if we can see. Yeah, and I like these handles. They're nice big handles that have a shut and an open on them. So I like those dampers. You've got one there. Let's see if you got any more. Oh, you got another one here.
Okay.
And another one over there. So you got 3 of them.
All right.
You got 3 dampers. Good stuff.
Directing airflow all around the place.
Yeah. It's nice to be able to balance it like that. And
If you get hot spot or cold spot.
yeah.
Complex water filtration system.
Yeah, and I'm hoping he can explain that to me a little bit.
And okay, we got our box. You've got a humidifier here. It's not plugged up, and there's not even a plug close enough to where we could try it. This is a very old type.
Okay.
It probably does not work. one thing. We don't have any electricity. And there's no drain. There's got to be a drain in the bottom of it.
Okay.
So we can bet that doesn't work. If you want a humidifier, they're not real expensive to have them added on.
Okay.
And I kind of like them. There's some people that say, oh, you should never have a humidifier because it adds more humidity to the house, which can create unwanted growth.
Right.
But my opinion is if you use it properly and maintain it, they're fine. You've got a humidistat. If you set it between like 30 and 40, they usually do fine. You just don't want to crank it all the way up.
Right.
And then it's got to be serviced once a year. There's an element in there that needs to be thrown away and a new one put in, and then just kind of clean it out good.
Okay.
And then they work fine. Now, if you ignore them and don't service them or crank them up too high, they can become a mold factory.
Okay.
So, but
So what
yours
do
doesn't work anyway. So,
Yeah, it's so odd that. Do you think they had an extension cord at one point when they were actually using it with no electrical outlet and were running it somewhere else?
yeah, they had an extension cord running down here. Or
Okay.
something like that.
All right.
Oh, in fact, here it is.
Okay.
So, but without a drain port, it has some excess water, so I can't turn it on. It's not working.
Okay. All right.
I've got no flame in there.